Welcome to your full moon in Libra ceremony. Declaration of non consent. We do this, of course, every 2 years. Sorry. We do this every two, 6 months. We do this twice out the year, not every 2 years. The Venus retrograde wasn't fun. Darcy said something very significant. Thank you, Mike. Can't believe we are all the planets direct. It's finally here. And I think that's what is a really great way to describe this fullest moon. Okay. We're going to go a little bit back into resequencing the past couple of years just to give you an idea of this brilliance we're stepping into. But this is the feeling you want to have moving forward. We're finally here. Everything is getting ready for you to exit Noah's Ark. Okay. The retrograde motion we had with Mercury is not that dissimilar with Noah sending the bird out there to see if there's like land, right? And now the bird going behind the sun, right, is going behind our consciousness as we are becoming conscious ahead of what our brains are processing. Our brains were reevaluating quite literally everything we have ever believed. So if it was just a standard Mercury retrograde out of Aries back into Pisces, we would simply merely just be reevaluating what we believe relative to what current plot devices and elements are in front of us right now. However, because this went through the portal of Saturn and the North Node, as you can see with a now Venus direct here, okay, this is incorporating now everything with Saturn over a 30-year, 60-year, 90-year, 120-year arc, most relevantly 30 years. And then with the North Node, everything that you are quite literally meant to believe. In Pisces, especially, this is a realm of fantasy. And Aquarius, according to postmodern materialist reductionist science, is science fiction. So everything that I'm telling you literally is, according to status quo, bullshit and not even real. Okay. Primarily destiny. So moving forward, the actions you are exhibiting and aligning, especially your beliefs, to even the idea and belief of destiny, is you incorporating quite literally metaphysical and beyond physics mechanics relative to your actions, that you will start to kind of see more deviate between those who really don't believe in that but are still ruled and influenced or influence themselves unknowingly with it as well. All right, so everything that you were not only meant to believe about everything, but now how you've applied those beliefs to yourself was the lesson of quite literally your whole life up to this point, but the last 2 weeks. So if we resequence the last couple of weeks, we had this new moon, and Mercury was retrograding back into Pisces, and Venus was retrograding back as well into Saturn. Okay. We want to notice that during this sequence, oh my God, what happened? Did I really do that? Wow. Where is that? We want to notice that, oh, that's what happened. Shout out to y'all on Instagram. We want to notice that during this sequence, Neptune was 29 degrees Pisces. Okay. The way we want to look at this, right? This is a new rollout. So imagine there's a brand new video game, right? Imagine I want to bring nostalgia by saying N64, but I mean, what's the next new game system that's coming out? Is it PS6? I think the PS5 is out, right? Let's say that Neptune is the software right? And Saturn is the operating system, but it's also the hardware. So I learned recently that, games run on game engines. And when games, of course, upgrade their graphics, the game engines that the hardware uses facilitates, of course, an advancement of the game's processing abilities. So that's why Neptune and Saturn at the end of Pisces is a huge, huge deal because we're rolling out new software with Neptune, and then we're rolling out new hardware over the rest of this year. The important distinction, maybe using this analogy, is that if we go a year into the future, by the time we're at late March of 2026, what do you know? We have the sun on Neptune and Saturn. Unlike last year, this year, where we activated, I want you to see how this year the sun conjuncted Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, right? If we just go back like a week, 2 weeks ago, we had the sun on the North Node, on Neptune, and Pisces. This is our last year with the PS5 that has been with updates maxed out to perfection. Okay. And then, of course, now by the time we step into 2 weeks later, Sony is already beta testing their PS6, hypothetically. All right. And then once we go to a year from now we want to see how the narrative has changed. Now the sun, Saturn, and Neptune are activating. The sun takes 365 days in order to reactivate a new contract and cycle with Saturn. Sun Neptune is a software update that not only updates collectively one's imagination, but your connection with the astral, right? And as I'm speaking on all these themes, keep that in mind for the importance of this non-consent ritual. If you go to the link below, you'll be able to see the website we'll be reading from, but I will screen share it. So by the time we're here next year in late March 2026, the PS6 is out. Like this is a activation of a new system. This is the new world order. The trade wars that are happening right now with China and America. Yes, Pisces has been beta testing PS10 since 2012. And if you're around any Pisces since 2012, they have been incorporating you into their beta test. And I'm going to snitch on them in a tell all documentary and book about Poseidon and his journey there. And how when he entered Pisces in 2012, there were 2 cruise line ship disasters because the god of the ocean decided to just come back and fuck shit up. Okay, we're going to snitch on all of you. And that's out of respect. But y'all really, man, and it is what it is. 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 Yes, I'm always snitching. I didn't know y'all was out here doing literally the most. But like, yes, okay. So I think you really need to the America-China trade war, the every action that's taking place for the next 365 days is setting the stage for a whole new world order, a whole new order of the world. So like the alliances that countries had before, that's not what we doing now. America is out of NATO. He thinks they're losers. Our president thinks they're losers. Like this is completely new ball game. China is linking up with North Korea and Japan. They're like, yo, America, this nigga think he's slick. Let's work together. Like the new, like the kids who grow up and see how the countries are forming, it's going to be different from what we saw. We might fuck around and see people who we never thought would work together be best friends, and people who we thought were friends strengthen their friendship or turn to enemies. Like this is all meant to happen because this is one preparing us for this activation right here. By the time we activate this new cycle, this year was getting out of your old contract. Imagine you gave a corporation, a company, a job, something you whatever, 30 goddamn years of your life. 30 goddamn years of your life. And to commemorate that, they give you a fucking coupon. And you're like, fuck this. I'm just joking. Imagine they gave you 30 years of your life, you're done. You're like, and so this year is your last year. You finished. When we activated that, you did the exit contract, and it's almost like for this year, you're a free agent. It's like, am I going to work back at this company? But now someone's like, hey, we're starting up a brand new company. Boom, 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 boom. This for many of you is being independent. So it's like, I'm gonna create my own company, right? Whatever you do, so do you think there's gonna be many attacks on the United States? I mean, this is speculation. I think it's possible. I think that I wouldn't know, but I think there are attacks that are already happening. Maybe our national security doesn't want to bring attention to it. Maybe there are like secret fronts of wars already happening. That's convenient to say. I think there's going to be many attacks everywhere, all over the world. I feel like it could be like a world civil war or something like that. So I feel like it may not be just specific to the US, but that's just speculation. It really could be anything. Harris Trump 2028. Oh my God. Yep, he's a Gemini. So this is two Geminis going band for band. When I learned that he was a Gemini, I was like, okay, I respect China. I respect China. I respect China even more. I was like, okay, I see you got a Gemini running your country. I feel you. I feel you. Y'all got a true one. Y'all got a true one. All right, so just seeing them go band for band, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. They're both doing what they have to do for the national identity of their country to push forward, and that looks like clashing. You have to have freaking like it has these. It's like landmass, like and then it goes a separate way or whatever. All right, so yeah, you know, for better or for worse. Let me not say it's good or bad, but I will say that you have a year. You literally have a year. Once we step in, and so this year is you getting out the arc. Getting out the arc is a process. Like it's not like you just got off the boat. It's not like Noah just got off the boat and just did whatever. He had a lot in that boat. So it may have taken a good while to unpack everything, go back into the boat, clear that out, come out, get settled on this new territory. And by the time everything is settled and we're fully out the boat and we're done with the travel and we're ready to move forward and actually activate this brand new cycle on this new land that's no longer flooded, boom, that's this. That's next year. Okay, so you literally have a year. The North Node in Pisces now gains more significant because, of course, you are unlocking new beliefs with the new moon in Pisces, especially that take into account 10, 15 years of analysis. That, if you want to make sense of, it's like the way socio-cultural economics have shifted every 10, 15 years. It's just an update. It's just like, okay, this is how we're going to apply this. What do I believe about everything now? And then, a few like supernatural revelations beyond anything we've been able to study or prove is real. Just, the universe is going to throw in some shit just to fuck with us. To be like, oh, look, there might be aliens under the sea. Like, no, not now, please. Like, we just have to get some stuff together. No, but they don't care. But like, yes, I just want to let you know, boom, very important sequence. So, boom. Okay, now let's kind of go back again. If we go back to 2023, all right, let's see something real quick. Okay. How many days was Noah in the ark? As you can see, Noah was in the ark for 371 days. Okay. And if you calculate around the time, remember, Saturn in Pisces is our Noah's Ark ride. So if you calculate, of course, the entrance of Saturn in Pisces to Saturn leaving Pisces, it is about, 371, give or take. Is it exactly that? No. Okay. But it is about that much. Okay. Even though we do see 2 years and 365 plus 2 is way more than 340, but you get the point. You definitely get the point. So, like that being said, now that we're coming out of this ride, the most important thing to keep in mind is that when Mercury was retrograding, right? I want you to think that you submitted your PS5. You were like, I modded this PS5. Like I don't want to just give it away. Like I spent 12 years modding this PS5. It might as well be my own personal PS7. The universe is like, your modded PS5 isn't shit. Give us that shit. And you're like, and you have reservations. It's like you coded in some stuff personally unique to you, and now you're being told that let's just turn it in, just turn it in. We'll hook you up, right? This could represent ideas about your own self, beliefs that maybe you supported about who you are and how you take action that through this retrograde have not been the same, have subconsciously behind your awareness, really did a number. And that's why for some of you, you won't notice it till you start to see yourself reflecting this change. Some of you, you notice that you felt horrible or you felt great, right? But now the reason why I'm mentioning this is you handed in your modded PS5 and then you were given back a PS6. Not the best analogy, to be completely honest, but you were handed back a much more superior system and game engine that you didn't have to mod because of whatever. It is what it is, okay? And that's what Mercury going back 29 degrees Pisces, right? It retrogrades back. And then by the time Mercury goes direct, it's going with Neptune in Aries. I want you to see this sequence. I want you to see a sequence. It's some of the most legendary astrology we have the honor and privilege of even being alive for. Okay, so this is when Neptune diabolically slips into Aries like it didn't wreak havoc on the entire populace since 2012. And then this is Mercury coming out of its retrograde, just terrifying people for 2 weeks straight. And now it's getting ready to go over Neptune in Aries. Like this might not really be the trigger for World War III. What we want to see here is that everything is direct. Okay. Everything going direct, I want you to see, of course, as everything had to just get in place. And this is why a lot of what seemed like delays for you, it wasn't really a delay. And that's what I respect about the retrograde. The retrograde, in and of itself, is an illusion. The planets aren't really going backwards. I think it's just the way we look at it. It gives the appearance that it's going backwards, which could be experienced through delays and things that don't happen the way you want them to or when you wanted them to. It looks that way, but it's just an illusion. It's actually everything that's happening is working exactly the way you want it to. You just may not be aware of certain unconscious influences like a guardian angel behind you who's protecting you by rejecting a situation through you. So it's not anything external. It's like you may unknowingly be rejecting a situation, subconsciously protecting yourself. And you'll know because as Mercury goes back over the sun next month, your brain processing unit will make you aware that the dove will fly back in front of you and be like, hey, we've reevaluated all of the information you've processed. Now we're going to begin to process information ahead of you being aware of it. All right, it's going to be a great epiphany. This is going to be one of those ones because now Mercury went back into the ethers to hobnob with Kronos and Neptune one last time, which I'm going to be honest with you. Can I be honest with you? You know what? I say a lot of crazy shit on this channel, but if you see me become more unhinged, it's because I really just don't give a fuck anymore because it really is all over. Okay. We all know that 2020, people keep, whenever you hear someone say post-pandemic, whenever you hear someone say post-pandemic things have been crazy or post-pandemic, they're really saying post-apocalyptic. Okay, March 21st, 2020 was the beginning of the apocalypse. And I feel like I have to show this again. I know I'm yapping, but I'm passionate about this for a reason. Because the world is ending in front of our eyes. Now in Pisces, the world has ended beyond saving or what we can do. We're creating a whole new cycle. This is entering up a whole new series of trade wars. But like, it's very important to understand that our world began to end during the beginning of the end 2020. And we all know what happened 2020. All right. So, regardless, whenever you hear someone say post pandemic, they are really saying post apocalyptic. And now, I say a lot of crazy shit on this channel, but let me actually make you hip to what this was. Okay. 2 weeks ago, the most diabolical conversation. I know the word diabolical is just overused to all hell, but the most diabolical conversation that has ever happened in the ethers happened at the end of March, right before April Fools. Right before April of the Fools. Now, this is my theory. Okay, I'm not afraid to say that this is a theory. It's gospel truth. Listen to me. This is a theory. Okay, but I do believe that Mercury, when he was having a conversation with Neptune and Saturn at the end of Pisces were finalizing their plans on how they're going to fuck everything up. They're ready to end everything. I don't know if it's through a tsunami. They were finalizing their plans for taking over and just completely, finishing the job through bringing in the new order. This is the plans for the new world order. Okay. Mercury retrograded to reevaluate those plans. Mercury came back in Pisces like, yeah, what about that plan? Oh, this is actually the true meaning behind the plan. So Mercury is not the same Mercury. Your brain is not going to be functioning the same way that it usually functions now that it's direct. And when Neptune goes into Aries, it's like you're used to taking LSD, but now this is a new type of LSD and it hits you instantly. Okay. This sequence over the next week alone is going to be very ridiculous. The next week is going to bring in the end of Aries. We're going to finalize this. And happy birthday, Blue Flame. Shout out to Big 50. We're going to be finalizing this new direction of authenticity. All right. And then the week after next, we're going to ground all of this in Taurus and prepare for the new moon. So you want to look at the next 2 weeks as harvesting and completing this initialization into a new era. All right. And what player one are you coming into the next era? Does that make sense? You're building your player build for the rest of the year. You're being introduced this year to new player and game mechanics. For those of you who are like, life isn't a game, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm using game analogies, but like you're being introduced to new player mechanics. We know because GTA 6 is going to drop. And this is going to prepare you for next year, where now that you've built your player, you play the new game, which means there's new rules. They're going to just roll out new rules and it's going to piss people off, make them who knows? Maybe the IRS will really get abolished. Like, this is a new game, bro. This is a new playing field. Quite literally, developers are still expanding this. It's still new. Like, we haven't integrated it to society yet, but it will be. It will be. Okay. Now, with that being said, this full moon is very significant because of the conjunction that we have, of course, to Chiron. I think that's very dope at 23 degrees. The exact 23-degree opposition that is taking place here, I think is going to masterfully do a number relative to not only Chiron just entering 23 degrees, but with the slight influence of Mars and even Uranus here, it's enough to really trigger a sense of unconventionality and unpredictability that you don't necessarily want to overlook. First, we have the Saturn and Uranus stabilizing yods that don't just make this a full moon. So it's going to really strengthen an extra dimensional sense of your physical senses, while controlling the system of beliefs polished by your desires that adjust your perception around what actions you're taking. This full moon is you on the walkway. You are practicing your strut, all moon in Virgo. You stayed up until the morning practicing. Now you're doing the thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, do that, do that, do that, walk that. Okay. And people are watching you and they're like, wow, who is this new character? Wow, is this an unlockable character? Remember how last year we were talking about you were unlocking a brand new character? This is the debut of it. You debuted it last year, but this is like the real, you're really stepping into it. Hypothetically. So, like, yes, boo. Okay. The significance of this full moon is also harvesting your new original power. So let's say over the past 2 weeks, there was a loading screen that once it gets to 100%, right, you're able to begin harvesting and breaking through the power and then, completing the development of that. And that's this opposition. So from a week from now, you will be completing the harvest of this development of your character while the sun in Aries literally maximizes the full potential of your own individuality. So we spent the past 2 weeks activating new ideas and values that align with what new sense of self we have, heavily influenced by everything we've ever believed about what we love and think about ourselves, changing forever. Changing forever. Argue with your mom. It's changed forever. All right, it is what it is. So now we're seeing that reflected in who we're becoming. We've integrated these values through, of course, Leo and Virgo, what we feel, love, and, analyze about it. And now we're coming into a balance of how we express this to other people, kind of like I'm doing now. Okay. I got my hair cut. I want to get my hair cut because, Libra is all fresh and presentable. Aries is raw, unfiltered crack cocaine. And Libra is presentable. It looks nice. It sells. It's the selling image, right? Okay. So we're balancing this. And this is the release point with which you will actively feel power harvest with you. Because now you're not just individual, you're coming into a social understanding of how you are exerting your power. Now, 6 months from now, when we're back into Libra season, and you'll see we're seeing these new game mechanics, right? Neptune and Saturn are in Aries, Uranus is going into Gemini, Pluto's in Aquarius. These are new game mechanics. Oh, my bad. This is a year from now. Let me actually do my job right. 6 months from now, Uranus is in Gemini, Neptune in Aries, Pluto in Aquarius, right? Now, the foundation and social balance we're getting for this original character, we fully polished this version and year of this character, and we're expressing it forward. And then the full moon will get a raw understanding of how we socially express that. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay, that was last year's "I Told You So" tour, where we already told them so. So this year we gonna be showing up unchallenged. Unchallenged. Y'all gonna be talking your shit this Libra season. It's like, remember last year when I told you, right? You didn't tell. All right, it's going. So, like, yes, this full moon is not only breaking through. So this is a week of you breaking through. You want to push yourself beyond your perceived limits so you can make the most of this harvest. Why is this cool though? Everything up until this point is now getting ready to push you forward. You were my dream last night. Yep, that kind of dream. I just remembered right now. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah. So the harvest quality of this is preparing you, Glitch, to not only bring this to a maximum, but the Piscean retrograde going direct is, of course, getting ready to push forward everything you've been deliberating and believing. Okay. So you're going to feel things break through. You're going to feel things powerfully move forward. You're going to actually be experiencing the peak realization of who you are and now what torch you must carry forth through the rest of this plot. Uh, News break: 2025 is going to be the best season yet. I think 2020 was a top 5 season. 2019, we all love 2019. We all love 2016. 2025 is going to be one of the best seasons yet. So you want to take this next week to lock the fuck in. Who are you going to be for the rest of the year? You're going to make some adjustments. You're going to have a montage scene in September. But who are you going to be for the rest of the year? Because this torch that you light, you must keep it with you all the way into next year. Because once we actually sign that contract, boom, they're going to be people who carry forth this fire. They're going to get murked Scorpio season. Scorpio season be murking motherfuckers, like for real. People start Aries season like, yeah, by Scorpio, they're like, oh, I'm never having sex with men again. I'm going to put a blue band on my wrist so I can it's crazy. It gets crazy in Scorpio season. Okay, so make sure you keep the torch. Do not let anything. This is going to be the week you have your character moment. And you realize, oh, this is what I'm lighting this for. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to keep that torch. I don't care if everyone who you love turns on you because you have to keep this torch lit. Keep the torch lit. Keep the torch lit. This is the last time we will have this quality of fire. You would have to wait 30 years. Keep it lit. Do not let anyone, even yourself, turn it off. I am begging you, please. Okay, the moon in Sagittarius is going to be where you have this oh, and that's it. Then we're going to go into Taurus. Boom. Okay, you can do this because that light is going to bring a lot of gnats, flies, let them burn in the fire. It's going to really cast a shadow, and people who didn't know where you were or where to find you are going to target you just to put that light out. A lot of people may not like that light. Okay, they may not like what you see with that light. So get ready to kick some ass. Get ready to kick some ass. Okay? Like, someone was beefing with the Leo King this week. All right? Why would you beef with Leo right before they're going on their crash out arc? Like, Mars is about to enter Leo. Why would you beef with a rare endangered lion before the god of war enters their zodiac sign? You must not know astrology. You get out of Aries crash out path and you get out of Leo's crash out path. See, I'm willing to take accountability. I thought I can pull my slick Gemini shit with a certain Aries. And I learned that day, you don't get in the middle of Aries during their crash out arc. You let them be the dumpster fire if they want to be a dumpster. I try to say my slick little shit and be sarcastic on Dolo, the pilot man's post. And before you know it, he called me an old lumberjack feet face. You don't get in the way of fire signs crashing out. So now that Mars is in Leo, get the fuck out of fire signs' way. It doesn't matter if you're right in there. Get out of their way. Get out of their way. That's all you have to do. I'm not even joking. You actually really want to. They're going on a warpath. Do you see how Pluto is opposite Mars? This is not a drill. 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 Please get with the hard R. He called me that with the hard R. Had me looking like, is he hacked? No, this is how he types though. Oh my God, without warning. And I had to walk out of that situation. I had to walk, he roasted the fuck out of me. You ever been roasted so bad, you can't even be mad. My first reaction to that was like, damn, this motherfucker cooked the shit out of me. This is actually fire. I couldn't even be mad. Then he called me the hard R, and I was like, okay, that's your moon and Sag. You doing too much now. You doing too much now. Yes. Yes. Okay, this is not a drill. Listen to me. I had to walk away from that situation like, you fucked up, right? You should have never gotten in the way. Like, if I didn't comment my slick Gemini shit, which he called me out for doing, I wouldn't have gotten roasted. This would have never happened. There's a timeline where we probably cool because I didn't try and like, at least I thought I was slick. I didn't even diss nobody. I was just being sarcastic, like, hey, Capricorn, he talking about you. Why didn't you tell me you was AI? Why didn't you tell me you was AI? He saw he didn't like that shit. I walked right into it. Never walk into somebody unless you crazier and you murk crash outs. Okay? So look, Leo is about to go on the most epic revenge arc and crash out that you've ever seen. We've not had a Mars opposition to Pluto transit like this. So like it's if you get caught in the crossfire and you're not a main character with plot power, you will be an extra who died. It's like Invincible. They don't care about the extras in that show. The extras just die like nothing. That's kind of like this real life right now. Be very careful. You can't even see how quickly you will die. You just be a brrr, like that's it. That is Mars opposite Pluto. There's a supernatural element of power and energy that we're getting ready to move forward. And Mars that's trining the end of Pisces is so crucial because now this development of everything we changed about our beliefs, we feel exactly what we're supposed to do with it. We're moving in that direction. So this week is also going to bring Mars going into Leo. So let's look at this sequence. We have the moon in Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio is going to intensify the deepened psychological understanding of how we're shitting on all these bitches and motherfuckers. I'm sorry. On how we are coming into a psychoanalytical understanding of the transformation of our characters relative to who we deal with and how we place boundaries relative to who we can trust. Now that we have activated and broken through this balance of our characters socially with other people, we get to see who we fucking hate and who we trust well enough with our development, which requires knowing who you hate so you can at least trust who you don't hate. And, Aries and Scorpio don't like each other. I think like Aries may like Scorpio and Scorpio may like, but they don't really like each other. That doesn't mean you won't find Aries and Scorpios that are friends or husband and wife. But I'm just letting you know, Aries and Scorpio hate each other. Like it's actually great. Like Scorpio doesn't like how brash Aries is, and how Aries doesn't really is patient, and then Aries just doesn't like how Scorpio is just it tries to be mad mysterious and shit, and it's just like takes everything too serious. So like I would know Gemini, we instigate the beef like all the time. My bad, but like why this is very significant. It's not like how Gemini and Scorpio hate each other, hate love or whatever. This is significant because Scorpio loves to exploit Aries' weaknesses. Aries just moves straight forward. Scorpio and Virgo like to trip Aries up. So it gets Aries more on their game. They stay sharp, right? They're next to Libra, Aries up, right? So it's great sex. That's the thing. Like Aries and Scorpio, the only thing they have going for them, the sex is top 5. It's so good. It's legit. That's, I think, the only thing. It's like Cancer and Sag, Gemini and Capricorn. It's really the sex. Ask them about the sex. Like, that's different. Everything outside of that, they're opposite. They don't even like what really keeps them together. They're both crash outs, but in different ways. Scorpio will be like, yeah, it's not a problem. I'm totally not going to kill you later. I totally forgive you. Like, we're totally cool. And then Aries will just crash out in your face, like, pull up the hands, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's cool. Okay. That's why I don't want to beef with Dolo, because he has the Sag moon. He look like he shoot people. Dolo looks like he shoot people, and like I could be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and boom, you hear about me on it. Like that's the only thing. Like honestly, if it was like a fist fight, I think I got him. I think I got him. If we do the hands, I don't think he's seeing me. But he keep a gun. He even waving in his music videos. I'm like, nah, that motherfucker would shoot my ass. That motherfucker would definitely shoot my ass. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, he looked like he be wanting to shoot his guns in the music videos. Like, I'm just waiting for a reason. Yeah, I'm not even. I pick my battles wisely. Do you see why I said I don't beef with fire signs? I don't beef with fire signs. Like, they'll go to prison and do the time. I'm good. I didn't beef with Dolo. He was crashing out, and I tried to diffuse it. I tried to be slick, and then he just started roasting me, and then he called me a native hobbyist, and then he said that I'm getting paid by Freemasons. I swear to God, I'm not even lying. He said I'm a native hobbyist, and that I get paid by Masons, and I'm like I'm not even real. He said that I'm lame because I don't do events. He said that I don't really go out. He flexed his Leo rising on me. He was like, "You don't even do events, nigga. You lame." I was all like, "No, I'm not lame. I be on the air like it's cool. I don't care. It is word wizards." All right, so yeah, shout out to Dolo. I don't have any beef with him. He was crashing out. I thought I can get in the way of that, and I was wrong. I learned my lesson. Aquarius don't fuck with me anymore. Kales was like, honestly, nigga, I can't make music with you anymore because you not rocking with Dolo. I was like, what? I thought we was cool. No, we cool. I just can't make music with you. And I'm like, wow. Okay, Aqua. Because the only reason why I know him is because of Dolo. So he had to do loyalty to like, okay, we not even beefing. Yes, it's like what the fuck. I made my diss track though. I mean, I didn't want to go back and forth. I dropped the diss track on him, and I just kept it moving. Aquarius tried to be like, nah, that's not it. I'm like, I don't care. Your Kendrick diss track ain't it, nigga. I see you been dissing Dot, trying to get clout. It's cool. I love you, Cito. I don't want no beef. It's cool. Yo, don't diss me. Hold on, please. Because I got some tracks for you too, nigga. Oh, shit. It's cool. Yes, bro. The Leo King's rant was so epic. If you haven't seen the Leo King's rant, he was ranting about a Sagittarius. Y'all need to see that shit. It is definitive. It's You need to see the rant because it's good. It's letting you know what Mars and Leo is going to look like. So when you watch that, don't just watch it like it's the Leo King saying it. Look at it like every Leo is saying that and what they finna be going through. And the reason why it's hilarious is Sagittarius. Y'all caught so much strays. He was like, you know what, Sagittarius? This is the problem with you motherfuckers. You do this. And like the reason why that was so funny to me, bro, is because even back when I worked at High Vibe, bro, the Sagittariuses would come up. Go to X, go to my Twitter. I reposted it. It was epic, bro. It was so Leo. He ended it off like, "Yeah, bitch, and I'm in an AMG." You probably don't even try that, bitch. It was so fire. If you want like a lit fire Leo flyer, you need to watch that shit. So like two different Sagittariuses that don't even know each other, right? Came to me. They're like, "Yo, what's good with your man's David, man? Talk to your man's because every time we watch the horoscope, he just be going in on us. It's like, do he even like us? I don't know if he beefing with the Sagittarius. Apparently, he be going in on y'all, and I saw it in that rant. It was EBS. Tyler Tarot and the Leo King be roasting motherfuckers for sure. He was like, the Tyler and David are cursing people out in the comments. It's fire. It's hilarious. You have to have tough skin, bro. Like you have to take it for like, yes, addressing the weirdos. It's called Addressing the Weirdos. Please watch that. Basically, and I want to really open up to this because it's not just drama. It's actually plot relevant. We could take this and kind of, take the lesson. But basically, there was this like Christian starseed, which is hilarious. When you watch it, there's this Christian starseed called like Starseed Astro. And he pulled a Sagittarius, y'all. He tried to create some like Sagittarius, I love you. But you motherfuckers be creating shit out of thin air sometimes. And y'all be trying to justify it. So he tried to throw Leo under the bus. I'm gonna be completely honest. He made this post talking about, hey, one of the Leo King subscribers told me that the Leo King made a prediction, and I had made the prediction a month before. And I tried to confront him about it. And I was saying that, oh, you need to give me proof. And the Leo King just started making fun of me. So he immediately turned himself into the victim. He kind of pulled out of thin air like this idea that the Leo King is stealing predictions when we never heard of this motherfucker until like this was even said personally. But the Leo King apparently was following him. So he felt like, oh, Leo King was following me on X. So he feels like he got stolen from. He wanted proof. He feels like the Leo King was rude. If you ask the Leo King will say that he was being rude. But that's Leo and Sagittarius. Like if you've ever seen a Leo and a Sagittarius argue, if you get like Sagittarius's side of events, Sagittarius will be like, Leo was turning up on me and I had to defend myself. If you ask Leo's side of events, Leo's going to tell you Sagittarius was just going wild. And so I had to turn up, right? But like, it's cool. So basically, he was accusing the Leo King of stealing a prediction, which is not true. He did not steal a prediction. And he never really apologized for it. He never really walked it back. So that's just kind of weird. You're trying to put someone under the bus and say that he's plagiarizing. And now he has to stun on you with this AMG. It is what it is. Take that. That's some Leo shit. Look, that's some Leo shit. But that being said, oh, come on, Aries. Come on, Aries. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Okay, Blue Flame. Well, duh, he's a main character. Look, if you were a Leo rising, you would understand. Y'all are not Leo risings, except for the new X. You Leo rising, you know what's up. You know what's up. Aren't you a lion? All right. But like the reason why I wanted to share that is because, okay, Mars getting ready to oppose Pluto is a canon event. It's a canon event. Okay, it's a very signature, important event. The trine it's making to Mercury and the moon is going to have you lock in on a very deep level. And this is right before you awaken the flame. The moon is going to sextile Pluto. And there's a very deep psychological understanding that is going to intensely connect with your brain's fundamental realization of everything you believe and how you process that information. That belief and perspective is going to drive what actions you take with Mars in Cancer, squaring the sun in Aries to make sure these actions, while sincere, are also authentic to who you are. Okay. So Nandi said something very important. Air is the only independent element. And then I will also say that Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer are the only independent zodiac signs. All right. Those are the only individuals. Making Gemini the only individual air. Okay. But not exclusively independent. Or maybe. But like, yes. So this Wednesday, very key. As Mercury do-si-dos over Neptune, Mars is going to gang fight Hades. Now, Mars and Hades have beef a little bit because you know how Mars is dating Aphrodite? Well, when Venus was beefing with Mars and broke up with Mars, they break up and get back together like every 2 years. Hades is like Venus's ex-boyfriend that was in a gang. And like Hades and Mars is a stepper himself. They do some gang shit. They've met each other on the streets. But now Hades was like, yeah, I took your girl. And Mars is like, whatever, son. Like They're beefing. They're probably going to get over it in 6 months or whatever. But like, that, you don't want to get caught up in that beef because like Aquarius has like space lasers. Leo has the heart of a lion. And you look at Venus and Pisces just instigating it. Like, yeah, I'm texting both of them. I'm making all this, like, Aphrodite is still cutthroat and ruthless as ever. So, like, this just be, don't get caught up in it. That's all I'm saying. Some of you, you're going to be fighting this war directly. You know who you are. So, once the moon goes into Sagittarius, and look, Mercury's on Neptune, you're taking LSD, but this isn't acid you've ever taken before. It kicks harder. Boom. And this is where you awaken the flame. Now, as we can see, the sun is ending its transit here. Damn. Mars is getting ready to kick off World War III. And yes, boom, we end Aries season. Okay. Continuing on the theme of starting the zodiac sign with the Capricorn signature completion transit. What's also significant with this is that, of course, why this week is important. By the time the moon reaches Capricorn, going through Sagittarius, this is you coming into a bird's eye view perspective of how you are him, of how you are her. You're coming into a higher perceptual understanding of everything you've learned this month and now what direction to take. So when it was in Virgo, you were learning how to change your behavior. It's like, okay, if I want to be as sexy as I can be, I'm gonna hit these push-ups. I'm gonna commit to doing this every week. But now in Sagittarius, you're gonna be looking like, damn, I'm sexy. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Okay, it's like you have a drone up top and you're seeing yourself from God's eyes. As we finish the transit, giving you the max potential of this, finalization. Okay, because guys, it's about to get crazy after this week. So you want to look at this week coming up ahead as, okay, all the adjustment is done. Now we're beginning to move forward and we're bringing everything to a climax. Oh, all right, cool. Don't ask me why I did that. Because now once we step into Taurus season, boom, we immediately hit with this T-square. Boom, 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 boom. The gang war has started. And this is where you need to now ground yourself and shelter yourself for cover. Because the next 3 days ahead, boom, we have the square with the sun and Pluto. Now, the moon in Capricorn is giving us an incredibly powerful understanding of utilizing this power we've harvested through grounding this central awareness through our five senses. While our brain is processing new software, we need to be very square on that. As the moon now segues into Aquarius, this is going to tie you into this universal gang conflict. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember throughout the past decade, we have been talking about boss battles. We have every Cancer season and Aries season introduced square Pluto and Capricorn, the theme of boss battles. We use the analogy of, I think, a Palpatine or just kind of fighting the system, breaking through its corruption. Guys, this boss battle sequence is unlike anything we've ever faced. This is our formal introduction into the next round of the Hunger Games, which is really Squid Games. They just didn't tell us that it's Squid Games because they wanted to keep the Hunger Games theme. So with that being said, this is over the next 20 years, our next theme of boss battles, where instead of having the square in Capricorn, new levels, new devils. So this is no longer just corporations we point the finger at. We're pointing the finger at humanity itself. We're pointing the finger at humanitarian groups that maybe use charities to human traffic. Anything is possible. We're pointing the finger at aliens. This is going to now represent conflicts outside the system that actually functions. It's going to get super extremely fucking weird. Okay. So this is the beginning of that boss battle sequence. That, of course, segues to the actual boss battle opposite Pluto and Leo. And then, of course, we're going to have the completion of the boss battle 6 months from now coming into Scorpio. And then we're going to do it all over again for the next 20 years. Okay. So, yes, with that being said, This 0 degree square, huge deal, very huge deal. The trine, of course, to uh, Neptune, huge deal. The sextile of the moon to Neptune is going to plug you into this new software. And that's where you're going to start to come into a supernatural, extraordinarily advanced celestial understanding. I'm just using extra words to sound more verbose of this new software. And now, how you are not only grounding this, but with the 270-degree angle, 1 degree Aquarius to 1 degree Taurus, we are officially completing the Aries cycle that we started previously in Taurus. This right here, mark your calendars, Monday of the 21st, the day after 420. Or this could actually be 420 that this is happening. So we have from the full moon today to this point right here. This point officially right here marks the beginning of celestial fucker. I mean, marks the beginning of leading into a utopia where we can all come together through unity. Hopefully, if we do not nuclear holocaust ourselves away with our budding technological advances. So yes, this is going to lock you in like you've never been locked in before. Time for the reboot. Did you unplug it for the wall? And I love the theme of unplugging because Leo is the source energy. When you plug something into a wall, you're plugging it into a source. That energy is represented by Leo, but you're plugging it into a grounding cord. I don't know that much about electronics. I only know the basics of Ohm's law. I don't even know that much about that. But boom, voltage equals current times resistance. You are the current. Your soul is flowing. You have resistance to your body, right? You're going to really now practically imagineer these physics dynamics, these metaphysical dynamics, practically through your own thoughts, feelings, and your body's bioenergy system and the electromagnetic sphere created by your heart. So now that we are connecting this energy, right? This is the second part of this full moon cycle. This is going to be an electric lever switch that's going to begin to really introduce the new game mechanics. Okay. So we have this weird ass moon in Aquarius that's going to have you situate a new level of eccentricity in how you are completing this new power, right? You're converting this direction into strength. We're ready to now build the values that this new identity has. Okay. Last year, you became a track runner. So this last year, Taurus season with the North Node in Aries was you know what I'm saying, getting your track gear, right? I wanted to because of Mars and Leo, right? Getting your track gear, getting your track and field gear or whatever you're doing. This is you just, adding the values to, or maybe you're doing another season of track and field because you've already won the last track meet. Now you're upgrading it, you're innovating it. But basically, once the moon leaves Aquarius, squares Uranus, and gives you a very weird, awkward experience or breakthrough, this is going to now in Pisces revisit everything we've changed about our beliefs and sequence everything moving out of this diabolical dreamland that actual Pisces exist in. And some are watching this chat through. Okay. Boom. The square to Gemini is going to reconfigure how these changing beliefs align with the evolution of your mindset. So you don't have conflicting beliefs with your thoughts. And then boom, we're going to have the balsamic phase with the moon in Aries, having you revisit who you have become and how you are releasing who you're not in order to activate new values coming in to this new moon, which you guessed it, the new moon is also going to be square this gang war. So join us in 2 weeks where we're going to really illustrate how it is you may be caught up in a universal gang war. Some of you may wake up in a beef, and good luck with that. All right. Some of you are probably going to pick the side, and this is where we bang. And it's opposite Lilith. So it's going to be raunchy. It's going to be very zesty. It's going to be very, very sassy. It's going to be very sexy. All right. Other than that, that is the next 2-week sequence. Okay. This is putting you in a position over the next week to balance how you are breaking through. This next week is harvest and breakthrough, and the week after that is completion, We're shifting so you're going to feel things move forward. It's going to set things in place. Boom. Then we're going to add more grounding and depth to it. And then we'll activate that cycle. So with that being said, I think it is finally time to now, at this hour mark, step into our declaration of non-consent. Beautiful. Thank you, Painted Rose, by the way. The reason why I was able to find these again is because Painted Rose emailed this to me. For those of you who would like to, you know what I'm saying, read this, download this, it's here. Yeah, I'm not gonna hate the when the Leo King is right, he's right. He's definitely he's been in the game for a minute. He has his collection of receipts. So it's cool. Shout out to and that's why this is important. That's why Mars and Leo is important because you have people who are predicting but just telling you definitions of stuff, and you have people who apply it, like who actually call it. And they trying to mistake us. They trying to mistake us. The people are just starting claiming they oracles. You know what I'm saying? And you have real prophets. So the declaration and non-consent, you are welcome to say along with us. You don't have to repeat. You can just focus on an intention. The intentions you had 2 weeks ago. Don't sleep on Blue Flame. You are harvest, so you can release them, reflected through your action. Anyway, let's do this damn thing. Shall we? We are the source from the all source. We are sovereign. We are free. A declaration of withdrawal of consent and non consent, published as public notice August 19, 2015. A collaboration of a work by various authors for unrestricted public use unto a reclaiming of individual sovereignty by one's individual will and intent. The following is to be declared in effect via the spoken word. This is my declaration of freedom from all control, AI beings and authority structures that interfere in harm against my sovereign free will. Let it be known that I withdraw consent. I terminate all contracts of agreements concluded by third parties regarding myself, and herewith return all liabilities and karmic implications to the contracting parties on all levels, dimensions, time, and timelessness. I withdraw consent to having any human being, living organism, machine, entity, person, corporation, seeker group, or their representatives, their superiors, employers, their on and off world allies, or anyone working for or with any of the above to spy, to look into, to watch, or in any way invade my privacy for any harmful reason. Privacy is defined as my own unique personal life experience. I revoke, withdraw, and retract all harmful agreements for all my bodies, parts, fragments, atoms, DNA cells, etheric essences, and entirety of being. As an entire universe that I am, on all levels, dimensions, time, cycles of time past, present, and future, and on all levels of existence, for all my bodies, from the core being of the one that I am to all my bodies across all universes, even in the folds of time and space where much is attempted to be in hiding. Each experience of my being is each experience of my being is for my personal growth and development. It is not for corporations to seek profit from. They are not to be manipulated and controlled by any person, entity, corporation, government, religion, machine, being, except myself. These experiences, which are part of my unique life experience, cannot be used by any other being, entity, human entity, corporation group, and any other example of someone or something that is not myself in any way that creates money and or capital for profit or control, whilst demeaning, degrading, or negatively affecting my living being. The monetization and collateralization of my personal energy and personal being, myself, for the purpose of buying and selling or owning is forbidden under any and every terminology, language, contract that is in being and has been used to control and manipulate my personal energy and being. The monetization. Oh, no, 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 no. I did not write this. I did not make this. This was on a website we used to use, but the website got taken down after we were using this. So I just copied and pasted it, but I think I did credit the writer. The monetization and collateralization of my personal human body, which houses my unique DNA, that is my private domain, for the purpose of buying, selling, owning, or controlling, is forbidden and banned. The buying, selling, and owning of my trading, the buying, selling, owning, and trading of my soul energy or my unique human body on or by any stock exchange, financial institution, corporation, government, religious organization in this world or any other world is expressly forbidden and banned. The buying, selling, and owning of my unique and personal DNA, energy, physical body, consciousness, anywhere in any universe, dimension, astral level, time, or world is forbidden and banned. The harvesting of my energy by any group, organization, corporation, government, religious sect, astral entity, galactic being, or anyone who is not myself is now forbidden, banned, and barred. Whatever the form takes, my energy is my own creation, and I do not consent to having it harvested for others to use or to profit from. Such buying, selling, and controlling amounts to slavery and is forbidden by me under my own sovereign free will and law that I impose. I withdraw consent to the use of nanite technology, parasites, or any other type of infectious diseases or infectious technology whatsoever, whensoever, or wheresoever, now in the past or in the future, to be used upon my human physical body or mind, consciousness, or soul whilst I am living here on earth or any places in and out of space and time wherein such forces can influence one's being. I withdraw consent to any type of mind control or the use of intelligent technology implants, physical, etheric, or astral, living or non living, to be used on my living being, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body, which could possibly have any harmful effect upon my physical body, mind, consciousness, or soul in any way. I withdraw consent to the external creation of dreams when I am asleep. I withdraw consent to any other human beings, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, dimensional being / entity entering my consciousness on any level at any time ever if the intent is to bring harm unto myself and unlawful harm unto another entity. I really was, though. I think I really did. I withdraw consent to any type of frequency wave currently being used or historically used to target my private and clearly designated unique human, physical, etheric, or astral bodies. my DNA, my cells, or my mind, my consciousness, or my soul in any way that is negative. This includes any type of exotic, secret, or covert Earth-based and off-world-based technology, which includes locations on the moon, asteroids, or other undisclosed places being used, that projects pulses, sorcery, beams, or waves or of any known frequency which has been seen to be detrimental to the human body, mind, consciousness, or soul. I withdraw consent. I'm strapped in. I withdraw consent. I thought that was funny. To the use and effects of fluoride in the drinking water, in addition to genetically modifying the food grown and sold for human consumption. I withdraw consent to aerosol sprays being placed into the air I breathe, bars, nor to programming being inserted in the music that I listen to. I withdraw consent and do not accept any programming placed into the audio and video images I am exposed to. I withdraw consent to the negative manipulation of the weather and to the poisoning of the earth because I know that these acts are harmful and unhealthy to myself and others. I withdraw consent to the use of psychics, black occult magicians, archons, demons, and negative spirits, or any entities using mental energies or any other forms of frequency, harm, or attack against my living being or bodies, or using my bodies to inflict harm upon others. I withdraw consent to exotic, machine-like, robotic technology, either physically or etherically or astrally implanted, used in any way to track, alter, torment, attack, abuse, infect, or harm my body, my mind, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul at any time, at any place, for any reason. I withdraw consent to any deception being used on my living being at any time, anywhere, which creates any negative outcomes concerning the health and welfare of my own personal body, mind, and soul, also known as my own personal living being, or to my free will, my prosperity, my wealth, or my happiness, also described as my life. I am using my sovereign lawful will and intention to declare an order that no energetic can deceive me personally in any way that affects me harmfully or negatively. No treaty made with any human being, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, whether on or off this planet, is valid if that contract or treaty in any way affects my life or my body, mind, consciousness, or soul in any measurable, negative, and harmful way. No treaty made by anyone anywhere is valid if it collaterally affects my living and breathing being, my life, my happiness, or my prosperity in a harmful or negative way without my full and comprehensive and transparent consent to said or stated treaty, even if I am personally am not party to such a treaty. This includes all corporate treaties and contracts, as well as any treaties or contracts considered to be off-world and / or interdimensional. I remove all prior consent to deception, harm, enslavement, or control of my living body, of my living being, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body on any and all levels. Any previous contracts or perceived consents through any form of tacit or assumed consent is now completely null and void, forbidden and banned upon all levels of existence. Bars. Any contracts made during any of my previous on or off world incarnations that involved gross deception, gross violation, trickery, mind control, black magic, occult, sorcery practices are all here and now made permanently null and void. No contract I have signed or agreed to, either in writing or as an assumed or tacit agreement as concerns incarnations in any way, shape, or form upon the earth is valid, regardless of any perceived amount of time or space, physical, dimensional, or otherwise, has transpired since that original contract agreement was begun. If any of my previous consents or contracts of which I was a party involved me being under duress and slash or were made as a result of deception, they are all now deemed invalid. If any of my previous consents or contracts involved intentions of me of using me to serve another selfish agenda or purpose, they are all now invalid. Oh, any person, being, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, consciousness that wishes to have a contract with me, my living being, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body, must do so in complete transparency with every single piece of that contract slash consent explained in full detail with absolutely no missing information or obligations left unstated or unexplained, and must be written out in full with my fully conscious approval and wet ink signature. Public notice to Earth's criminal, harm inducing, appointed caretakers or leaders, including earthly visitors, whom are their supporters, and any being slash entity slash corporation slash government slash religion slash machines or person aligned in any way with any of these beings. If any such things as listed above are being done or ever were done, then those acts occurred without my consent and will be considered deception and are void and null. Any tacit or presumed consent by me for any act of doing done by another person, entity, being, etc., that affects me in any way that I perceive as negative, harming, or controlling my free will whatsoever is hereby now permanently removed and challenged and denied. It is denied to any and all beings or entities unless a current contract or treaty has been negotiated with me personally. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. That's what we call motherfucking bars. No further notice is deemed necessary. And this is now both written and recorded on this planet Earth slash Gaia and upon all off-world dimensional universal records. I know we spitting that heat right now. If any human slash being slash entity slash government slash religion slash corporation slash group, comma, from this planet Earth slash Gaia, comma, any dimension, any universe, any perceived, quote, other level of existence, comma, wishes to form any contracts or agreements or treaties with capital me, they must do so face to face, comma, in this physicality that my human body resides in this planet, comma, in the full acknowledgement and agreement of my capital free will to choose to do so, comma, only under the agreements written in this declaration, period. I have the right of my own sovereign will to change, update, or modify this declaration at any time. Let's clap for ourselves. Welcome. Congratulations, y'all. Congratulations. That was another coded declaration of non-consent. Period. Had to end it with the period. Okay. So what we're going to do now is segue over to the Inner Peace Declaration. I could have sworn I actually copied and pasted it onto my website. So I'm probably just going to do it again later. But yeah, we are going to follow this up with the Inner Peace Declaration. Let me see if I can maybe do this. What was it before? Oh, it was 80. Okay, y'all. Inner Peace Declaration. Use daily upon rising, before sleeping, or any time that you feel negative energy may be impacting you. If you feel that you are being drained of vital energy or that you may be misusing your energy, this will assist you in uploading and retaining the upgrades and universal realignments to your higher purpose. If we lived in a conscious world, this would only need to be done once. Though, as we become more at one with all life and the collective consciousness, it is necessary to stay vigilant, to keeping clear and aligned to our higher power slash source, whilst going through the many course corrections, rebootings, and realignments, which are part of our landing sequence. This realignment bubble creates a sacred space in which the user can be fully supported in receiving unlimited pure energy from the source so as to carry out your divine purpose. This will also reduce and even eliminate any draining, negative, unsupporting projections from any source and clear out other misuses of energy. Wow. Oh my God. All right, let's do this. A declaration to anchor a peace bubble, a proactive, empowering, ascending, clearing energy bubble. So creative. With the unlimited power of the mighty I Am presence, I am declaring that all supportive, loving energy sent to me from any and all outside sources will be accepted with great gratitude. All toxic and negative energy sent to me from any and all outside sources will be immediately returned to sender, cleared, purified, and without malice. With the unlimited power of my mighty I Am presence, I am declaring that all supportive, loving energy from me to any and all outside sources are gladly offered with 100% unconditional love. All energy sent from me to any sources that do not honor or respect these energy offerings will be returned to me, cleared and purified. All toxic or negative energy, intentional or unintentional, all toxic or negative energy, intentional or unintentional, sent from me to anyone will be immediately returned to me and cleared and purified. This declaration is so and is made manifest throughout all time, space, dimension in the past, present, and future, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, throughout my physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies until I request the removal of this bubble, or I no longer need any realignment and the evolution process is complete. This declaration is given with great gratitude with the support and guidance from my spirit guardians. It is so, and so it is. Okay. Know thyself now. I am 100,000% with you. Okay. Um, I felt like doing that too. I think you can take that intent and say that. I would like for you to, I know a couple of you requested this, pick a card. The card you pick is going to reveal what it is you're breaking through and harvesting. What is the message behind that? Underlying theme we do have is the magician, baby. I like that. I like that. The magician is talking about you being the one. Power 1, 2, 3. You being him, her. You have every resource you need to accomplish what is on your mind right now. You are through your resourcefulness manifesting your ideas into things. Okay. So be mindful, as above, so below. Whatever you spend your mind focusing on, you're going to magically manifest because you already do so. But this is you really now breaking through you as the magician, right? As someone who weaves their fate and destiny through the power of your own intention. So you want to be very intentful moving forward with everything that you do. Now, if you pick pile 1, and listen. The magician is saying, stop listening to these stupid ass muggles. Stop listening to these stupid ass muggles who don't know a single thing about the discipline and craft that you study. Everything is hearsay from the outside looking in. They've never busted a grape. They've never done a magic spell. They've never been out in the woods practicing Wingardium Leviosa. They have never even fought a warlock before. They've never had to face spiritual attack and light a candle to fight it back. They've never really had to work with deities or entities. You have been trained, proved, and battle tested. Do not let these muggles play you. Okay, that's all I had to say. If you picked pile one, okay, pile one, we have ain't ever even busted a white, a blue, or a red grape. Pile one, we have the judgment pile. Chaos and terror is going to follow you wherever you go, which lets me know inherently you are a motherfucking badass. You are going to be terrifying people with how much they have no foundation. And the only people who will look you in the eyes are people who actually stand on something ground and solid and are prepared to move forward with this awakening you will be beaming people with. And this starts with you awakening to a higher level of your path, destiny, and everything that you were always meant to do, my youth. And this is definitely going to be not only powerful, but I think this is going to, while you experience and also experience being one step closer to your higher purpose. All right. It's almost going to be like the dead resurrect. It's like everything that was kind of things that were hidden in plain sight. Like there's a lot that's going to be revealed through you. The vision I have from you are people who are running away from you. Like when you walk into a room, people walk away because they know you're going to say things and bring stuff up that will make them uncomfortable and reveal things that maybe they were hiding and you didn't even notice them in the room. You didn't even notice them in the room. They just know when you're in the room, you're gonna start exposing shit. You're gonna start exposing shit. You're just by being there, you might not even open your mouth. Now people bring up what you're like, just it is what it is. So just be mindful of that. Chaos and brimstone is going to follow you wherever you go. And only the real people, the real of the real, are going to acknowledge you because they're going to realize, thank you for clearing all these bums out the way. Thank you for getting rid of the chaff and leaving just the wheat. Yes, I'm picking up wheats and tares. Pile one, you are separating the wheat from the tares. And the tares are going to be terrified. You're going to judge them to the fire. This is that plutonic energy. So we have pile dose. Okay. Pile two. We have the world, dude. Okay. The world card is talking about total completion. You are breaking through your greatest success and milestone victory. Okay. This is very significant. And I have to really harp on the significance of this because not only is this bringing in this sense of fulfillment and completion, but it is bringing up to wraps everything that led up to what you are breaking through in this vein. It's somewhat similar to Pile One. Pile One had to go through every experience on their life so that they can be revealed what the true purpose of them being here is. Pile Two, you are tying in together everything you've been in your life so that you can graduate and be the one who graduates others. Okay. So this is massive success over the next week and 2 weeks that you're coming into. And this is going to really help prepare for you to step more onto that world stage. Pile three, what we have for you is the death card, baby. Wow, the irony. The irony. Pile three, you're going to become unrecognizable. All right, pile one is going to connect more with Pluto, pile two with Saturn, pile three, Moon and Scorpio. So you're going through a major transformation. Certain themes are going to end in your life forever. And that's it. They'll never come back. That's it. One and done. It's done for. Okay. And it's going to shed every part of yourself that no longer aligns with who you are now. This is going to be a very dramatic transformation. I feel like for some of you, your summer body is going to be ripped, and people are going to be looking at you like you're a completely different person, psychologically, emotionally, physically. Why this is also significant as well is everyone who is attached to not your old self. It's not like your old and new self, right? It's more your new next self, right? Shout out to the new next. Everyone who is attached to who you never were, everyone who was comfortable labeling you and understanding you in a certain way that you never were, they're going to die. Maybe it doesn't mean they'll pass away, but you're not going to have a link with them. The relationship's going to die. Like they're going to fall away. Like it is what it is. So this also applies to anything else attached to that. So very powerful, very powerful. You guys stay blessed as always. The message I'm getting here is we're coming back full circle. A lot of you are returning to where you were when you first started this journey, but you're bigger, badder, sexier, stronger, smarter, and just overall so much more successful. Do not let normies and muggles define your success. You came here to define something that has never been defined before. And for the most part, that's going to look unrecognizable. That's not going to look like everything that we're used to seeing already. And it really shouldn't. So you guys stay blessed as always. It is always an honor to serve. In about a week from now, we will return with content. We're going to bring in the Taurus season cycle. I'm going to spend this week to shoot Sun in the zodiac signs and the houses, Uranus, Pluto, Venus, Saturn. So by the time you see me next week, they've been done being shot, and I'm going to start, editing them and all that. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.